Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
If Queen Bey is rumored to be on the run, then y'all know there's a heck of a fire starting somewhere, and it looks like the heat of the Diddy raid is getting to the Carters.
They did. They wanted to be gangsters. Lil Combs did, so.
We all know that Beyonce and Jay-Z may be the most iconic couple in Hollywood, but that doesn't mean that their marriage is drama-free. And we can definitely agree that drama is just another name for scandals. But if there's one thing Beyonce loves to avoid, it's a scandal. Like, come on. She literally walked out of the infamous elevator slap with a smile on her face. And celebrity or not, nothing says messy, tea-filled scandal like your husband's close friend of over 3 decades suddenly being on the run from the feds. So it makes sense that Beyonce might be panicking just a little right now. But before we get into the messy details of how Diddy's home raids may be the final straw for the Carters, after years of divorce rumors, let's actually take a look at the relationship that the couple has with Diddy. Sean P. Diddy Combs and Sean Jay-Z Carter have more in common than their same-sounding first names. Their friendship actually dates back to the early 1990s, when both artists first made their mark in the music industry.
It's 2020, y'all. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we're going to keep staying together. We're getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else. Right. To us. Right here.
Get this, despite how dramatic and competitive the industry is, with every rapper having beef and threatening to deal with the ops, Jay-Z and Diddy never went this route. Super ambitious men, and they became super successful, but there's no success in Hollywood without its fair share of weird, hidden secrets. And if the last couple of months have shown us anything, it's that Diddy has more than a few secrets hidden in his closet. No pun intended. But there is that saying about friends of the same feather, and if what DaBaby said about his first meeting with Diddy is true, then Jay-Z may know all about Diddy's dirty dealings.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. Me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know, and she came over.
According to DaBaby, Diddy took a liking to him way back in 2020 when his career was just properly taking off, and in alleged Diddy fashion, DaBaby was invited to a party at Diddy's house. Later during the party, Diddy had cleared most of the guests out, and it was only him, DaBaby, and less than 20 other people in the building. If there's anything the rumors about Puffy have taught us, it's that he loves having open doors when it comes to loud parties, but keeps his inner circle and scandals behind closed doors. So clearing out the party and hanging out with the young new charting rapper was several steps into weird. But DaBaby didn't pick up on that. As DaBaby narrated, Diddy took a liking to him and even had his arm around the rapper's shoulder at one point during the evening. But the biggest shock of all was that Beyonce, the one and only Queen Bey herself, came up to DaBaby to say hello. Just in case you don't realize how wild that is, the same woman who stunned the world with her Renaissance tour was introducing herself to the young new rapper, and that is enough to have us questioning exactly what type of party it was for Bey to feel so grounded that she introduces herself to DaBaby. The one thing that could maybe explain just how weird the situation was is the fact that Diddy had put his arm around DaBaby's shoulder, and fans worry that it may have been a sort of stamp of ownership or a recognition that DaBaby was now part of the squad. As Mobetta 2092 said, Puff put all of those people out, put his arm around homie, then Beyonce walks over to introduce herself. Sounds like they were initiating a ceremony. But while we thought about whether or not it could have been a ceremony or some alleged initiation, someone else was focused on the actual problem. So y'all only gonna question what DaBaby was doing there, but ignore the fact Jay-Z and Beyonce was there too? Oh, okay, y'all favorite couple are not innocent in this by a long shot. And that just spilled a whole fresh batch of tea, because if we really take a moment to deep it, this isn't the first time that fans have called out Jay and Bey for allegedly being shady.
I mean, I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I
know, I ain't have nothing to do with that.
Long before Jay and Bey were hip-hop's king and queen, Jay-Z had been making tabloid headlines for hanging out with rising musician and actress Aaliyah, who was 9 years younger than him. Many folks have said that Aaliyah was right on the path to be the next queen of R&B, as she was already nicknamed the industry's princess, despite her young age. But tragedy hit, and her career and life were cut off right at the peak when she died in a tragic plane crash on her way back from a music video shoot. Now, if you're wondering what this has to do with Beyonce, sit tight because it's a roller coaster of conspiracies, rumors, and the piping hot tea of your favorite celebs.
Nervous? Very nervous, but I'm real happy. It's something I've wanted for a long time, so to finally make that transition, it's great.
Jay-Z and Aaliyah had been linked in the late 1990s because Aaliyah had been introduced to Jay-Z for professional collaboration purposes, and they were supposedly good friends despite their age differences. Let's not forget that Jay-Z and Beyonce were also claiming to be friends for a very long time before news hit that not only were they dating, they were engaged. So this definitely shows that Jay could have been involved with Aaliyah more than either of them let on, which ties back to some drama involving Damon Dash and, wait for it, R. Kelly. Yeah, and we all know that if R. Kelly is involved, there's some messy business going on. As one Twitter user noticed, I think it's weird with all the R. Kelly stuff happening that no one brings up how Jay-Z and Kelly literally were in a love triangle with Aaliyah, a child. And when Jay couldn't get with her, he started dating a freshly adult Beyonce, started talking when she was 18, dating her 19. Anyway, the more chaotic, evil part of these relationship dynamics comes from the fact that Jay-Z was on the cusp of a very influential career, and so were Beyonce and Aaliyah, who were on two different paths but still similar. And legend has it that after Aaliyah decided against pursuing a romantic relationship with Jay, he focused fully on making Beyonce his queen, and not just for music. Like someone else said, they sacrificed Aaliyah, queen of R&B in the Caribbean, for Beyonce, but we know Carrie Hilson sounds better than her, hence they canceled her for their queen, wondering who they are. It's all about the triangles, diamonds, and the Illuminati mess. Somewhere between Aaliyah's tragic death and the sky-high rise of Beyonce's career, some sinister truths came to light. At the heart of it all was the never-ending conspiracy theory that Jay-Z belongs to the Illuminati, and they had made him the top icon over Tupac. And of course, every king needs a queen, so Aaliyah got the boot, and Beyonce became the literal Queen Bey. But the Illuminati gist doesn't end there. Over the past several decades, conspiracists and fans have come up with one too many theories about Jay-Z and Beyonce's connection to the dark underworld of the Illuminati. And one common thing in these theories is the use of symbols. Jay-Z is known for constantly throwing his hands up to form a triangle or a diamond, which is supposed to be a significant representation of his music label, but some are not ready to believe this at all. According to a number of theories that gained popularity in the early 2000s, the triangle is a depiction of membership to the Illuminati, and Jay-Z's constant use of it was a constant identification of his role in the occultic group. While it sounds super fanatical now to think that Beyonce and Jay-Z's use of symbols are in affiliation to something evil, there were a lot of people who strongly believed it then, and a lot more who still believe it now. One person said, Jay-Z's Rockefeller record label is named after the Rockefeller family, part of the satanic globalist elite cult, the Illuminati. Someone else wrote, Jay-Z was a relative nobody until he started up with his diamond hand symbol. When it comes to Beyonce's part in being the second half of Hollywood's most evil couple, she's mostly under fire for using religious spiritual symbols to depict other things in her music videos and performances. Reacting to Beyonce's 2017 Grammy performance, someone said, this was creepy and weird. Beyonce, she's not the Virgin Mary or a goddess. Most ridiculous, blatant display of Illuminati symbolism bar none. But people have also connected her fame to the timeline of when she got together